For you Chargers fans, I have good and bad news for you. Now the good news is you locked up defensive end Joey Bosa on a 5-year extension worth up to $135 million. $102 million is guaranteed, making Joey Bosa the richest defensive player in NFL history. He's setting the table up very nicely for his younger brother Nick Bosa and Steelers defensive end TJ Watt. Now there's no doubt that Joey Bosa has been an elite pass rusher since he's been in the league. He has 40 sacks and he's had double-digit sacks in 3 of his 4 seasons. In fact, the only season he hasn't had double-digit sacks is when he only played 7 games in 2018. Joey Bosa is a beast. He wreaks havoc in the backfield. He makes it very difficult for quarterbacks and tackles and running backs to block him, even tight ends. And there's no doubt that he deserves his money. But here's the bad news. The Chargers are not set up very nicely in the future. Now, when you're a rebuilding team, the idea is to pay everybody before you have to pay the quarterback. The Chargers don't have a quarterback that they need to pay right now. Tyrod Taylor is on a veteran contract, and Justin Herbert is on a rookie contract. They're doing very well with not having to pay the quarterback. So you sign everybody around the quarterback. Joey Bosa, Derwin James coming up. And it makes a lot of sense. That's how you build a solid team. But the problem is a lot of their key players are up on contracts in the next 2 seasons. Here's a list of players that they have coming up on contracts. Keenan Allen is due in 2021. Hunter Henry is due in 2021. Melvin Ingram, Mike Pouncey, Denzel Perryman, and Tyrod Taylor are all gone after this next season if they can't work out new deals. And also in the 2022 season, Derwin James and Mike Williams, who could also hold out for contracts if they don't receive anything in the near future. So this will make it very hard for the Chargers to rebuild that offense and that defense and build around whoever is the quarterback, especially if it's Justin Herbert. In my opinion, they got to get Justin Herbert to play now while they still have everybody around him, while they still have the 2 receivers and Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, while they still have Austin Eckler. They have to see what he can do now, because if they let him play next year, they don't let him play till next year. And if they don't land some key free agents or keep some of these receivers and the tight ends and the other weapons on that offense, the line, then they're going to have real issues seeing how he develops. And considering that Anthony Lynn doesn't have much time to put this thing together, you'll find yourself in a situation where you're letting go of the coach, and then the quarterback is struggling because he's under a new coach, and then there's not enough talent around him. So you have to really execute in free agency and in the draft, which is not very easy to do. And so my worry is that the Chargers, this whole experiment is just going to falter because they didn't do enough to take care of the players and pieces they have around them. They have a lot of aging players as well. Mike Pouncey's in his 30s. So I don't know how well this team will pan out in the future, especially with those 5 years that they have Joey Bosa for. But the good news is you do have Joey Bosa for 5 years. The bad news is it's going to be very hard to keep packing the stands or trying to gain a fan base for the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't see it really happening. That team is going to struggle tremendously. Justin Herbert is going to struggle tremendously if they don't figure this out. But they also really have to give Anthony Lynn a chance. And we'll see if they do that. We'll see where they go. But right now, it's not looking good if you're a Chargers fan.